We're not shy. We're contagious.
I think their whole family's like some weird medical experiment.
Are we late?
There's an innocent!
One house, 3 children. So many windows. You still desire me after all these years?
Forever.
Our whole family together at last.
Good show, old man.
Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
And I'm Ava Robinson.
There you go. Yes, you are. This is just a spontaneous thing, really. I had 2 blank spaces, and I thought, what can I rope Ava in for? Well, no, not really. I wanted to do broadcast news, which will be coming out in 2 weeks. And I thought, okay, one for me, one for you. Not really, though, because they're both for you. You wouldn't do something for me. And
what's the common link between the 2 of them?
Ooh. Same, I don't know. Oh, don't start. Bobby. Joan, should this have been a Joan Cusack series? What else?
Maybe.
Obviously, School of Rock.
Yes.
You've
Have
never
you done
seen-
School of Rock?
No.
That's surprising.
Obviously, In and Out that you haven't seen, but you would really like. That's an Oscar nomination for Miss Cusack. It's Kevin.
Films that I love with her, other than School of Rock, 16 Candles, but obviously she is in a very, very small role. And fun fact, I used to refuse to watch her in 16 Candles because she has all that headgear on. And it used to really, really upset me. And I can remember going into my room and crying about it. And my mum being like, it's only a movie. And it just really upset me because I felt so bad.
It's only a movie will not be our only Michael Jackson reference in this episode.
Oh, it definitely will not.
It's only a movie. It's only a movie.
What's the problem?
What's the problem? I'm scared, Michael. It's only a movie.
Yeah,
John.
but what was that Cradle Will Rock movie?
Cradle
that we
Will
had
Rock's
to watch
great.
in person?
Cradle Will Rock's a great movie. Tim Robbins directed it. Everybody's in it. Great movie. Her and Bill Murray have a little communist romance subplot.
Yeah.
Obviously, Working Girl. She's great. We have mixed feelings about Working Girl. I think I like absolutely everything apart from the lead performance.
Yeah.
I'm softening on her. But
Do you know her face got like bit by a tiger when she was?
when?
Yeah, no. I read this about Melanie Griffith.
In Raw. Yeah, Raw, because her dad's a mental tiger man. Yes, no, I've seen Raw.
Yeah.
So her dad's a mental tiger man, and obviously Tippi Hedren's a huge naturist or naturalist, whatever one isn't nudist. And they have a load of tigers. Yeah, they have a load of tigers in an enclosure, and they made a movie with real tigers. Yeah, like the cameraman had his scalp. He got scalped. Tippi Hedren broke her shoulder. Yeah. But and then who's Melanie Griffith? Who did Melanie Griffith end up with after Don Johnson? And who Dakota sees as her dad? Stepdad.
Oh my God.
And who?
I remember reading this.
And was in the movie Femme Fatale, directed by Brian De Palma, after Melanie Griffith said Brian's great. And is in a big 90s musical that you don't like musicals.
So that's helpful.
But if you did like musicals,
a big 90 what stage or film?
Film. And stage. What? He was in a stage musical with Jenna Maroney. Not a fake one, not Con Air the musical. with Jane Krakowski and Antonio Banderas.
That's who it is. You
Yeah.
could have said like literally anything else.
Sorry. Have you watched Mask of
Like-
Zorro recently?
No.
Mask of Zorro is absolutely sensational.
Did they do more than one?
They did The Legend of Zorro, which was...
Which one was?
That's where Rufus Sewell is the villain. And there's a really fun train sequence, but apart from that, it's pretty lame.
Is Catherine Zeta in both?
She's in both, yeah, she's in both. Anthony
Well,
Hopkins.
you know, I can't stand her.
You do hate Catherine Zeta-Jones, yes.
I don't hate her. I think my mum doesn't like her, and then that kind of just trickled down.
So obviously this will come out a long time from now because of my scheduling and all that sort of thing, and loads of boring stuff about recording loads ahead of time. So we will have watched all of, or will we not have watched Wednesday, where Catherine Zeta-Jones is Morticia? I'm guessing you just won't touch that with a barge pole.
No. No, not solely because of Catherine Zeta, but
You
no,
hate Louise Guzman.
you know, I watched the like the promo for it with Jenna Ortega talking
It was
about
pretty
like
funny.
the role and
I
that.
thought it was
But
pretty funny.
for what I will divulge in this whole episode is that this film marks a truly untouchable, perfect film, but especially cast. And it's not the original cast. It is itself a remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it. So it's only natural for others to follow after. But for me, I will never feel that there is another Addams Family other than this.
It really can't be underestimated to what extent this is one of the greatest comedies ever made. I don't want us to come into this too hot, but people need to come around to the fact that this is one of the best sequels ever made and just one of the tightest, most hilarious movies ever made.
Yeah.
And with great scale and with great dark comedy and with great slapstick comedy and with great dry wit. It's absolutely sensational. There's not a dull joke in it. All of the references, all of the pop culture references are evergreen. Michael Jackson will never not be funny. You know, it's not 90. It doesn't feel 90s in any way. It feels evergreen. It feels timeless. It's absolutely sensational. And I don't like, I read in the trivia, it was on the it was on the list of 500 nominees for the 100 greatest American comedies of all time. And I was like, that's bullshit. It is, we're not going to spend a long time on this. Let's talk about the first film, which I have seen and is fine and is really good.
Which I have not seen.
Yes. It is good. It is good. It's nowhere near as good, but it is very, very good. It's a bit like Father of the Bride 2 in reverse. Not that you hate Father of the Bride, but it's like it's nowhere near as good as Father of the Bride, but I like that I have more time with these people and these characters.
Yeah.
And AFI's top 100 comedies. I just want to look at this now and immediately just say, this is shit. This is shit. Let's go to the bottom. Right, Nutty Professor. That's the Good Morning Vietnam is 100. Good Morning Vietnam is a great film, but come on, Bull Durham's great. It's just Fargo is 93. There's a lot of pretentious stuff. Father of the Bride. Oh, they've put Father of the Bride 1950 on here. Lots of Woody. It's a very, dare I say, snobby list. And I think we need to finally come around to the fact that this is one of the great films. We don't need to.
No.
When did we realize that this was a shared love? It was obviously like within the first months of meeting each other, but I'm trying to remember the exact moment.
Yeah. I don't know. It was early on. It was definitely the first year. We've been in any other years.
Because I'd like watched it religiously as a kid, and it was one of those things where it had completely sunk in. And like I think I had it taped. I never had the DVD as a kid, and so I would know the ad breaks. I would, they're sailing away on the canoe, and Becky and Martin are on the campfire. Ad break, and like it would cut to Daz, or I remember the ad. Same with Sleepy Hollow. I had Sleepy Hollow downloaded for a long time before I got the DVD, and I watched it with an ex, and I literally just went ad break, and she went, "What?" I said, "It's the ad break." And I don't know whether she thought I was having a mild stroke. I don't know, but I did explain. But by the time that I'd met you, I hadn't seen it in about 5 years or something, so like a long period of time, to the extent that I even forgot about Christine Baranski playing Becky Martin Granger. And it was a moment before, and you said, are you not? And I said, yeah, I love the camp. It's the best part. And again, it's one of those subliminal things where deep in the core of my being, I knew how perfect a film this was for me. Let's talk about some more big picture stuff. I'm guessing you can't remember the first time you saw this. I'm guessing it was just always on.
It was always on. For me, it was along with this and Parent Trap, as in the Lindsay Lohan one.
Yeah.
They were the films that always seemed to be on TV on the weekends, on ITV or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So it would be a very regular thing, but then it would still be, oh, I love this movie. And again, I didn't own it, so it was all the more special to actually have it playing on TV. But no, it's a very solid family favorite, especially with my mother, who is
just so happens
blonde,
to be called
called Debbie. I'm joking. But yeah, not really. So no, it's yeah, we all love it, and we had since got it on DVD. But no, it was always on, always funny, and yeah, strangely enough, that just shows that it was, my love for it and the familiarity with it was just it from being on TV. Hence why we didn't own the first one. Hence why I still haven't seen the first one.
I just can't wait to show it to my kid. Especially if I do have a little girl, this is what I want you to be like. I want you to be dry and bitter and witty, and then I'll
Wednesday or Debbie?
No, Becky Vine Granger. Oh God, me and my kids are going to have a great time. We're going to choreograph.
Okay,
Annie.
what's the age? What's the age you show it to them? Because they can't be too young where they don't fully appreciate it.
Yeah, but they'd come to appreciate it. It's all about training.
Yeah.
They would come to appreciate it. I was never scared of horror movies as a kid because I watched horror movies from a very young age. So, they start off with, throw in Monsters Inc., throw in Beauty and the Beast, which have some scary minutes. And then, you just build them up. I will be terrible. If my wife isn't slightly restrained in what she'll show her kids, like, oh, this is Eyes Wide Shut, and Tom and Nicole were actually divorcing very soon after. I'm not going to show my kids Eyes Wide Shut, but it won't be far off. Like Sleepy Hollow around, I
remember watching that as a kid.
It's great. And that's where my love of murder
Christopher Walken scared the shit out of me.
It's great. When are we doing Sleepy Hollow? I love Mind Your Head. Natasha Richards,
and what's the link?
Rest in peace. Not Natasha Richardson, Miranda Richardson. What's the link to this?
Is
it Bo Welch as Bo Welch? Right. Michael Goff.
Yeah.
Michael Goff. Freddie. Johnny. Obviously, Christina Ricci.
You dumb shit. Oh my god.
Yeah, grown up.
You're so used to going through like the most niche of links that this is the second time it's literally the most obvious.
Right in my face. Christina. Let's talk about Christina Ricci, because this is kind of where it ends for me. Like Addams Family Values, Sleepy Hollow. That's it. Really.
I never saw Casper.
I was never a Casper kid.
Again, Penelope, that just made me really sad.
Oh yeah, I watched Penelope in the cinema.
No, it just really
Penelope's
upset me.
the pig one, isn't it?
Yeah,
With
and
James
it's got Reese
McAvoy.
Witherspoon and Catherine O'Hara as her
It's
mother.
got Catherine O'Hara.
I'm like 90% sure she's her mother. Yeah, she definitely. Yeah, I can remember her in the trailer going Penelope.
Tim Burton is an
Yeah.
untapped well on this show to say that, as basic as it is, it's probably the most formative. Because I definitely loved this.
Mum.
I definitely loved this.
And it's got Peter Dinklage, I remember, and Richard E. Grant.
Right.
Maybe I should rewatch Penelope.
You're not going to be Catherine O'Hara. I'm sorry. You were going into that as if I would have the same reaction to Richard E. Grant. Let's talk about Barry Sonnenfeld, who either is absolutely making top class fare or is making pretty awful stuff. So I don't know what your relationship with Men in Black is.
I love the first one. Don't care for the others.
Kind of the theme. So he's obviously a revolutionary cinematographer. He was with the Coens. He did Raising Arizona. He did Big and When Harry Met Sally, another one of our favorite films, and Misery, again, favorite film. So directing. Here we are, directing. So he direct. Oh my God. His first film directing is The Addams Family, which again is great, just not as good. Then there's the movie called The Concierge with Michael J. Fox. Oh, and beautiful Annie from Father of the Bride. What's this movie about? I may have to watch this movie. Then Get Shorty. Have you seen Get Shorty?
No.
Great, very good. Gene Hackman, Danny DeVito, Rene Russo, and John Travolta in sort of like a dark comedy. He's a gangster and he ends up in Hollywood, and it's all about how actually Hollywood is just as cutthroat. It's absolutely brilliant. You would love it. But notice the theme. Men in Black's great. Get Shorty's great. Both Addams are great, so we can't really say that. But then Wild Wild West sucks. Men in Black 2 has some good moments, but sucks. Get Shorty has an awful sequel, which he didn't direct actually, called Be Cool, which is awful. And Men in Black 3 again didn't really hit the mark, despite having Will Smith, who's great at hitting the mark. And then 9 Lives, which is one of the absolute just bizarrest, worst films ever. Christopher Walken is a mystic time traveler, whatever, who puts Kevin Spacey in a cat to show him that life is worth living.
Oh my God!
It's absolutely. I'm going to make you a cat because you don't love your wife. And he's like, I'm a cat now, and I don't like being a cat. I hate being a cat. I'm a cat. It's pretty good, sneaky good Kevin, isn't it? Let's talk about Paul Rudnick, who again, absolutely formative in our development of comedy, even though he's not one of the names that you'd immediately jump to, because he writes this. He writes. He did a rewrite on Devil Wears Prada, which I know you love, as well as being a very formative gay playwright. He also wrote both Sister Act movies. Are you a Sister Act fan?
No.
No. No. In and Out, which is great. And Stepford Wives remake.
Which we love. Which
is great. What's the link? I don't know. Is there a link? Right. Who can get it first? Addams Family Values.
Walken.
No.
Oh, wait.
Addams Family Values.
Shut up.
Stepford Wives
Shut up.
It's got to be. Maybe.
Stop!
I'm not saying anything. I just don't want dead air.
Just stop. I'm thinking.
Are we allowed to do multiple links?
Wait. What is it? Addams Family and
Stepford Wives 2004. I don't want dead air.
I've done it.
Oh, go on.
Okay, wait. Okay.
I was too nervous we were having dead air, so I don't count.
Okay. Christina Ricci in. It'd be so easy if I could use stage. I'd do it straight away. Christina Ricci in Sleepy Hollow.
No, I've got it.
No, I've done it.
Christina
Mine's
Ricci.
probably gonna.
No, Christina Ricci in Mermaids share Silkwood, Meryl, The Hours,
Yeah.
Nicole. Boom. Mermaids is shit, by the way. Sorry. Right, let's talk about Addams Family Values. So the first film, budget of 30 million, box office of $191.5 million, which leads to the budget for this film, $47 million, box office 111 million. Now, it was knocked off very, very early, the second week, by another huge comedy. Do you know what it was?
No. What year?
This year.
What year?
1990 whatever, I don't know. And there's it's not a reference to it, but in this movie there's a very specific moment which feels now like an in-joke. I'll tell you what the bit is. Hello, they're Bobby the Puppet. Mrs. Doubtfire came out the next week.
Yes, but okay.
Mrs. Doubtfire came out the next week and immediately knocked it down. So I think that was in play. But you know, we're long past. Can you imagine a studio comedy making even 111 million? Well, they don't make studio comedies. That's beside the point. We don't need to get sad. We're going into an industry that's dying underneath us. We get Addams Family Values. So the title comes from Dan Quayle's speech regarding reacting to the 1992 Los Angeles riots, and he said that he wants that it reflected a breakdown of family values. And Paul Rudnick thought, oh, that's a good title, Addams Family Values. I don't have much pre-production on where the idea of this Debbie Jelinski character came into play, but it is just it does. This film would be excellent enough if it just was the Debbie story. But the fact that it's the Debbie story and Camp Chippewa, and that it all works so well, and it's so tight, and it's such a brilliant 94 minutes, is a knockout, is an absolute knockout in every way, shape, or form. Do you return to this movie for Debbie, or do you return for Camp Chippewa?
Debbie.
See, I think I'm more of a Camp Chippewa person, but also my love of my.
No, Debbie and Fester. Debbie and Fester always. I think Fester more so than Debbie. Obviously, I know they're together, and that's their first scenes, and that's
the great comedy double acts. Yeah. Yeah,
but Fester. I think Fester's my backbone for this movie.
See,
a lot of people say Wednesday. They think it's her movie.
She's
not
great
in the entire sense, but obviously her role in Chippewa and how she, orchestrates all that. They think that that's where she comes into her own.
Especially you,
but then,
Sarah Miller.
But no, every time I think, because I go straight to Debbie and Fester, as I say, who are the standouts? Joan Cusack and Christopher Lloyd. But as soon as I say that, I automatically think of Raul Julia and
Julia.
Yeah.
Julia.
Yes.
Raul Julia.
Julia.
It's Julia. Without a doubt, it's Julia.
Julia.
You're thinking of bloody The Wedding Singer, where she's going to marry. Oh no, she's called Julia. Julia Gulia. Have you even seen The Wedding Singer?
Julia. No. What, with Addams Family?
Yeah, Drew Barrymore's about to get married to a guy named Ron Gulia, and she's going to be called Julia Gulia. She should follow the When Harry Met Sally line of thinking. She's a lawyer. She's keeping her name. I want to start with this energy. Anna Paquin in The Piano, Holly Hunter in The Firm, Rosie Perez in Fearless, Winona Ryder in The Age of Innocence, Emma Thompson in The Name of the Father. How the hell is this not in the Kevin Kline vein with A Fish Called Wanda and getting Joan Cusack breaking that Best Supporting Actress field? All of those are great. All of those are great performances. But or the Melissa McCarthy Bridesmaids, mold. It's just one of those things again where this is without a doubt. This would certainly be the Thomas Carruthers 2021. The Thomas Carruthers 1990 3 Best Supporting Actress win, without a doubt. Well, also I hate the piano, but anyway, that's beside the point. Do you like the piano?
I haven't seen it.
It's all right. Harvey Keitel's Shaft. No, I'm not a big piano fan, but John Cusack is just absolutely hilarious. It cannot be underestimated how absolutely extraordinary she is. Is this our most underrated comedic actress? Because if you look at this compared to School of Rock, compared to Broadcast News, compared to Working Girl, compared to, for me, In and Out, compared to My Blue Heaven, those are 7 wholly different comedic performances that are all great. She may very well be one of our most underrated comedic performers, and this is without a doubt her comedic tour de force.
Yeah,
that's all that can be said. Right, let's talk about the film itself then. Best 10-minute stretch. I've got here Trying to Kill Pubert, and all the Trying to Kill Pubert. No, doesn't do it for you. I can tell by your reaction. I then have
that's not a 10-minute stretch.
You get very pernickety, and you forget that I've done over 200 of these, and I throw it away. I know.
No, but
there's without a doubt a best 10-minute stretch.
For my 10-minute stretch, I've done Festive escape from the mansion, the Debbie reveal when she admits to him, and then the Thanksgiving takeover.
Yes, that's without a doubt the best 10-minute stretch. Yeah, obviously. But let's just make it fun. Let's have some nominations. I've put Here Comes Debbie, her introduction, and just meeting Debbie for the first time, which also includes what links these 3 women: murder. Getting to Camp Chippewa for the first time with Chandler's boss and 2021 Best Supporting Actress winner Harriet Sansom Harris. And then I've got Honeymoon. I've got Thanksgiving Play and Explosion Attempt. And then I've got finally Debbie's presentation finale.
Yeah.
Are we sure it is Thanksgiving Play and Explosion Attempt, or is it Debbie's presentation?
No. It's the pacing. You know me, I'm all about like the flow and this to the that and all building that. I like the anticipation of the finale more than the actual finale.
It's just 90 clean minutes. This is the best part. People make fun of me because I either like a tight 90 or I like a 3.5 hour like Irishman or a Godfather or a Dr. Zhivago. I think on Titanic, one of my changes was just put in all the deleted scenes. You're already 3 hours long. People will stay. Yeah. Apart from Kathy Bates going, "Can I have some more ice?" and the iceberg going behind her, which is maybe the worst deleted scene of all time. But 90, it's just 90 perfect minutes of great set pieces into one another. I don't want to do a whole conversation about the death of the studio comedy, so we won't. But they just don't make this anymore. They just don't make this anymore. And it's really, really, really upsetting. What was the last movie you laughed at in a cinema? When was the last time you went to the cinema to watch a comedy?
Jackass.
Well, yeah, that was one of the great films of the 20th century. But that is its whole thing.
Yeah, not a movie.
There isn't one.
No. There
just isn't one. I mean, obviously we're recording this. This will be released like a year or something. Maybe there's a hot new movie that we're not talking about. But the characters of this and the I think it's the effort. You know what it is? It's the effort. Sitting through bloody Red Notice with all the CGI and all the green screen and all the stock footage of Greece or wherever they were. It's just miserable compared to the sets and the craft in this. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. And there's so much effort, even in the smallest bits. The amount of little specific gags I've got, there isn't a moment I've got a few changes, obviously, I always do, but there's no whole scene or there's no stretch that I think could be cut or anything like that. Every scene is effective. It builds. And even in quote unquote expositional scenes, you get in Nathan Lane, who makes what could be pretty inane dialogue suddenly some of the funniest stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
It's just excellent. It's just incredibly good. Any other nominations for best 10-minute stretch that I missed or that you want to fight? No. Which leads us on to weirdly specific favorite part. I'll let you go first.
Right. I've got Wednesday's monologue as Pocahontas.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, we will wear cardigans and drive stick shifts.
Yeah, you all drink highballs.
Yeah. And then the stare between her and Amanda as she lights the match and the needle. That's great.
And we haven't had since the beginning the da-na-na-na. So it's been a good hour and 10 that we haven't heard that. I've never said bass drop, but you know that's that music drop. Have you ever been to a club and some funny DJs tried to put the Addams Family theme in?
No.
I remember going to a club and they put on Lion King or whatever, and it was just like Savannah, and there was just like it's just a lot of shit. Do you remember when we were having the time of our lives in that wonderful disco room, and they were playing great music, and then
in attic,
in your attic, and then we got dragged to the club part. I was like, what the hell are we doing here? Nobody's enjoying themselves.
Oh no, you're talking about Amersham Arms in first year.
No, I'm talking about. Well, actually, no, I'm talking about both. Aren't I? I'm talking about both. It's the exact same situation in both.
Yeah.
Everybody's having a great time in the fun place, and then it's like, no, we're going here, and everybody, it's just dead like a dead fish, you know.
Yeah.
Ugh, clubs, and you like to make fun of me because I just stand.
Yeah.
I guess I'm easy
but then,
to make fun of.
No, and then, well, that was what, like a week or two before COVID hit.
Oh,
so that was literally.
Jesus Christ.
No. I remember getting it up. I'm like, a year ago today, and it was, I think, probably something like the 9th of March, 2020.
I've not looked up. Oh, we didn't make the podcast before. The podcast was a quarantine thing.
Yeah.
Obviously I work for a luxury cruise liner, and we were organising VIP letters, and they haven't done it since quarantine. And they got up the old template, and it was something like, "We invite you to 26th of February's performance," and it was like The Shining or something. It was so eerie. It was like finding an old picture of a Victorian dead girl with a little date in the corner. Any other specific favourite parts?
Not I'd say a favourite part, but a specific part is the life-saving scene.
Oh yeah.
And it's an in-joke in the family when Amanda's like, "I'll be the victim," and she's like, "I'm going to be an actress."
You just missed the best
imagine what my family say.
You just missed the best part.
All your life.
All your life. Here's some actual, really specific favourite parts. I'm going to have a baby, but I specifically right now. David Hyde Pierce. Not really that specific, but David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah.
I love zoom in. They had sex. Absolutely brilliant. Immediately. I love also, I want to show this to my kid because it doesn't talk down to children, because it is a children's movie, but also, and not in the way of that people always talk about of there's something for the adults as well. Like when people talk about bloody Inside Out, and it was like, yeah, but there's jokes about San Francisco, for the adults. I was like, if you're a grown adult who takes their kid, and your kid's laughing at Boo Boo or whatever it was called, Mr. Blobby.
Bing Bong.
Sure, who gives a shit? And then you laugh
I didn't even like Inside Out.
And you laugh at that goddamn, here you go, here's your
Bing
pizza.
Bong.
Here's your pizza. It's like, you've ruined pizza, San Francisco. It's like, if you laugh at that, If you're a grown adult in a cinema, I think your ticket should be revoked. I don't think you should be allowed back into cinemas. I put here any Fester reaction. The first one specifically is it's just when he's in the corner. Oh, oh. Is this the most underrated Christopher Lloyd performance of all time? Because people talk about Doc Brown, obviously, and then people are like,
that's the most rated. I wouldn't know if that's overrated. That's another question. But no, Doc Brown is what he's known for.
Doc Brown's excellent. And then people are like, actually, if you rewatch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, yeah, Christopher Lloyd's really good in it. You know, he's really good. And he is. He's excellent. And obviously Clue, which you hate, he's great. So Clue, yeah, you hate Clue. But this is sensational. And it's so subtle. I mean, obviously it's not subtle. Subtle's not the word. But those little...
Yeah.
You know, I could listen to him grovel and gravel all day. Pubert being dressed for the guillotine. Guilty. Let's talk about Pugsley. Nobody ever talks about Pugsley. I definitely don't know the big guy's name.
No.
Values. Let's name him. Jimmy Workman. Oh, this is a bad sign. His IMDb picture is of an SNL appearance of him as Pugsley. He was Sean from The Bakery and As Good as It Gets. Yeah, it's mainly Pugsley. Yeah, didn't have a lucrative career, it doesn't look like, Jimmy Workman, despite his name. But he's great in this. He's wonderful. Guilty. Oh, you're a lady killer. Acquitted. We haven't even touched about Roger. We haven't mentioned one person's name yet, and that is Angelica Houston.
I know.
This movie is overflowing with brilliance. What have you got? A specific favorite Morticia moment?
I love the right now.
Right now.
Anytime she gets to a mark and her eyes illuminate. Oh, and the only one word.
Pastels.
Yes.
All this I can forgive, but Debbie.
Debbie, what? Pastels? Get out of my house! Get the road!
This time watching it, I you know what it is? It's the bit, it's the stretch after they failed on the honeymoon. And every single line she delivers is angry and brilliant, and I can hear it in your voice. Speak English.
Pumpkin, yes. Oh. Yes. But anyway, we're talking about Angelica Houston.
We are. Do you have a favorite Angelica Houston? It's obviously this, but
Tenenbaums.
Oh, how have I forgot about Tenenbaums? The amount
she
of times I just forget about
me.
Tenenbaums.
She terrified me in The Witches. That shit scared shit out of me.
Yeah, Witches. The amount of times I just forget about Tenenbaums. I was talking to the other day about how much I love Gwyneth Paltrow, and I said, "Oh, I love Seven. I love The Talented Mr. Ripley.
I love Iron Man 2.
I love that." No, was I in that? Was I in that? Have you watched that video where she forgets? Some interviewer at a junket is like, "So Gwyneth, you were obviously in the latest Spider-Man movie, and what do you think of Tom Holland?" And she was like, "Was I in that?" Because obviously they just pull her in. They don't say this is for Spider-Man. She doesn't know what's going to end up in an Iron Man movie, what's going to be in a Spider-Man movie. It was absolutely brilliant. And then I was like, oh yeah, and Sliding Doors is really underrated. And then somebody was like, yeah, and Tenenbaums is cool. And I was like, oh yeah. Peter Graves saying murder. You're not an aeroplane person, are you?
Not massively.
In the film sense or the transport sense?
No, in the transport sense, yes.
Fester saying goodbye to Debbie. Fester, say goodbye.
Yes.
the foremost, maybe this is the best line, the foremost centre for privileged young adults. And we're all here to learn, grow, and just plain have fun. Cause
that's what being privileged is all about.
right, I'll mention this anecdote. So you saw my Theatre for Young Kids performance.
Jesus, I had buried that memory deep down.
And I wrote that script, and there was a full
Tom, I will tell you, I remember absolutely nothing about it other than like
my tight leather jacket.
Portal.
My tight
leather jacket and like a time portal.
Yeah, it's not about the plot. But there was a specific part where I'd written down, she had to do this big opening monologue introducing the kids to the science centre, and I put, and we're here to just, that was it. Our one rule is to just plain have fun. And, you know, and all the kids would recite it. And then the joke was that eventually I would come in as this overeager health and safety man and go, and what's our one rule, Victor? Never block fire exits. And it was it was funny. You know, it was a joke for the adults in an inside out sense. And it came down to this of somebody, the teacher guy who was running it, he was like, people don't say that. I was like, what do you mean? People don't say, why doesn't she just say, we've got to have fun? Like, no, that's not as good. You've got to say, our one rule is to just plain have fun. And it wasn't a direct reference to this. It was just a sort of, I actually got a mutual acquaintance who was in that group, commented on the script and said, it needs to be more for kids. There's too many jokes in here where you're just trying to make Ava laugh.
Oh, I know who said that.
Yeah, you do. And they were referencing a joke where somebody had to do a lawyer's monologue. And one of the jokes I put in there was, what's the Simply Red song where it's I give it all up for you, yes, and give it up. Anyway, there's a Simply Red song, and actually I said, well, actually, Ava doesn't like Simply Red. I was nearly said good times, but was it? There wasn't any COVID, and anyway.
That was just before COVID.
Yeah, Barry Sonnenfeld cameo. Yeah, the before times. Barry Sonnenfeld cameo as what's his name? What's the kid's name who falls in love with Wednesday?
Glicker.
Glicker, yeah, with Glicker's dad.
Joel Glicker.
Joel Glicker's dad.
Oh, that whole. I forgot to add to my favorite quotes. When he's like 50 grand for summer camp and he's Mr.
Whoa. Cut to in the background, Pugsley in the background just hanging himself, lovely little guy. And so many times, people, that takes so much of it. I always think of Planes, Trains and Automobiles, where he recognizes him in the airport, and you could have so easily have just cut to the shot where he takes the taxi from him. But no, they get John Candy to put the hat back on, put the jacket back on. They get a fake car door and put it inside the airport and have him go, oh. And that must have taken an hour, maybe less, and maybe more. But that is a moment I will always remember, and it ignites my love of film. Cut to Peter McNichol going, life-saving. So another movie that was very formative in my childhood, which I had downloaded because there was no DVD, was Dracula Dead and Loving It, which I used to watch over and over and over again.
I've never seen that.
It's Mel Brooks doing Dracula, and Peter McNichol's Renfield, and Leslie Nielsen's Dracula, and Mel Brooks is this, like, you know, deeply Jewish Van Helsing. And Stephen Webber, Stephen Bauer's Manny from Scarface. Stephen Webber is Jack Jack Torrance in The Bad Shining. Stephen Webber is the guy who falls in love with, is that Christina Ricci? No, it's not. Well, no, Winona Ryder's in the real one, in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Oh, what a good movie. Both good movies. Fester, cutting to Fester with a whole bread bun in his mouth.
Yeah.
That's the ghost story. One of probably my best single minute of all time, well, no, in this movie, is the graveyard seduction, which includes obviously two of our favorite lines. You know, I dreamed that when I'd found him, he'd be perfect and pure. You'll meet him. and then obviously the best line.
Yes.
I'm ready to make the ultimate sacrifice.
A gold.
Incredible, absolute knockout. And then finish again, ending every scene with a great tag. That's our mother's ring. She was buried with it. She grabbed and pulling out the shovel and the lightning again. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. My love of Christine Baranski knows no bounds. I've put here her saying the names Callaway, Framingham. I very much enjoy that.
Yeah. Oh, yes, but is that the best name?
No, don't worry. I've got them listed. I've got them listed. Don't worry. Peter McNichol jumping back in. Oh, whatever. Our little Chippewas.
Wait, no. When we get to it, let me see
if you can remember them. Oh yeah, sorry. Not on my time. Four Eyes grabbing the book. Scared by Michael Jackson.
The Scream. Yeah.
The Wedding Vows.
And what is the poster? What's the poster?
Heal the World.
Yeah.
Wedding Vows. Ditto. The corpse in the tin cans in the on the back of the wedding vehicle. The lady going tramp after Wednesday gets the bouquet. I love Ian Abercrombie just for a moment. Your hearse, madam. But where's the body? He's over there. Oh, but he is alive. Tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
English. Speak English. Pastels. Cut to Baranski's wiggling ass so randomly for the introduction of the choreography of Eat As. Oh, it's just brilliant.
Eat me.
Gary hitting a child with the scripts.
Yes.
Probably one of our most quoted bits. Is it string?
Yeah, a dog toy.
Yeah. You'll be back soon, won't you? Picking up the suitcases. Flick of the match with the theme tune. Morticia reading Cat in the Hat. Oh no, he lives. I
love the blonde baby.
Oh, so cute. Such a cute baby. I love
Do you
babies.
know twin girls? Playing the baby. Well, because it's all for child actors, especially babies, they always do twins. But yeah, even though it's a boy.
To this day, Pubert, yes. To this day on Riverdale, Cole and Dylan Sprouse still do alternate scenes.
Do you hear about that guy? Do you hear that guy on Riverdale who just got sentenced to killing his mother?
Sorry, what?
No, I don't watch Riverdale. I've never seen it. I have no desire to. But
every day I Google celebrities kill their mum, ?
No, it came up on BBC News saying a Canadian actor who's actually in the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, which I absolutely adore. But I don't know who he is. No, he's not. He's not Rowley or Frankie.
Like if Rowley turned out to be killing his mum. What if child actor, and it's just Steve Zahn? Do you like Danny Daycap?
Yes. No.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Do you like Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps?
The Clumps, no. I've put, I need persuasion and slides. And then I've put here credit cards. Oh, yeah. I thought, for a minute there, I was thinking,
and the
pronunciation of, went on to
what was I going to say? The delivery of sorry, Debbie, but no Mercedes this year. We had to set an example. Oh yeah, set this. Well, and the photo of the guy against all of her photos of murder with the axe when he's like, and the photo of and the photo of Fester on the lawnmower, like.
I haven't even written down any of that speech because I've left it all for you. Don't worry. We've milked that dry. Guess favourite building or set in honour of Will. I've gone for Camp Chippewa, but it's definitely the house. It's obviously the house. It's a beautiful, beautiful set, and actually leads.
What, the Addams house?
Yeah, and were you going to say Debbie's?
I've got Debbie and Fester's house purely for that stairway entrance, but also my perfect specific favourite set is the restaurant where Gomez and Morticia dance.
It's our favourite bistro. Of course, they've renovated it. Nice. Let's talk about soundtrack corner. No, let's do what do you want to do? Best single minute or soundtrack corner? I feel best single minute will be quick because we've already talked about things.
Yeah.
Very opening birth. The nannies, Cynthia Nixon into all right, children, I've had it just about to hear, into Polly the puppet.
Yeah.
Just a great single minute. Graveyard seduction, arriving home from the honeymoon, and then Nathan Lane. I hate it when that happens. The Tempress of Waikiki.
And he's like, who are you? What are you? Who moved the rock? Yeah.
When Broadway reopened, Nathan Lane did a Paul Rudnick monologue.
Really?
No, I lied. And then very specific, Debbie doing Macho Man with Tony Shalhoub, Jorge the Sailor in a down and dirty bar.
Yeah.
Very good. Tony Shalhoub, I don't know who he's friends with, but great cameo. Was there a bigger scene? Or did they just say, hey, Tony? Any other nominations for Best Single Minute?
No.
Soundtrack corner. Let's talk about Mark Shaman. Just great orchestrations of the Addams Family theme in different ways, and especially the tango theme is very good. How do you feel about the dance? Because we used to have a friend who was a dancer and she hated it because she didn't like all the effects, and she said that took it away from the actual good dancing. And watching it this time, I have
no recollection of that.
Oh, I try to block lots of things out too, but no. And I have to agree, watching it this time, the best bits for me were the bits where the camera just held and Raul Julia and Angelica Houston were just doing very good tango choreography. I've never really enjoyed too much the whole spinning and this fire. I do enjoy the castanets from the mussel shells.
Yeah, and the knife throw.
Yeah. But like, you know, and the flipping and all that sort of thing, that's obviously not Raul Julia and all that sort of thing. Do you want to talk about the fun facts that disgust you deeply?
His eye popped out.
His eye popped out when they were filming.
Oh!
When they were filming this dance scene. I think it was this dance scene. I can't remember. How do you feel about the dance? I enjoy it perfectly well.
This is the second time you've asked a question and then answered your own question. It's just a gift. Yeah, it's enjoyable. I think because actually I've seen a couple of people, whether it's like YouTubers or whatever, who have done this dance as their first dance for a wedding.
But how can
their own wedding? Here's the thing: they learn the choreography, and then it's just trickery. So obviously they can't fucking, you can do a spin like that when the woman goes on the floor on her side and do that, but then
she's got kerosene in her shoe.
Yeah, don't do that. But then the knife throw, it's like you pretend to throw, and then the guy has one and he turns and just puts it in his mouth as if it's been thrown. So it's just like
no, I understand.
Things like that.
I understand. But also, how is she married to a gymnast? I mean, how do you do the flips?
No, I said they don't do the flips.
Yeah, it's all trickery. American singer Michael Jackson was supposed to feature a song in the film called Addams Family Groove / It's a Family Thing. The song is mostly rumored to have been removed due to the child sex abuse allegations. However, in reality, it was because of contractual differences from Paramount Pictures. I don't believe that at all. I think those contractual differences are because it's the middle of the 90s and things are just happening. Hence, you've got the joke in the movie of Joel Glicker acting scared of Michael Jackson. However, it would most certainly have been better.
Would that have been a good song, though?
I've listened to it because he basically rewrote it as Isn't It Scary on Blood on the Dance Floor. And it's fine. I can tell you this for free. It's a lot better than Addams Family, open brackets, womb, close brackets.
I love it. Whenever the credits come, I'm like, yes!
I knew you would. Whoomp, Addams Family, there it is. Here are some lyrics. Back again, the Addams Family. New baby in the house makes 3.
Makes 3. Wednesday Pugsley.
Wednesday Pugsley, Lurch, Fester Grandma, and Thing. Wait, can't forget Cousin It. You've not mentioned Gomez and Morticia yet. Tag team raps another party hit. It's the Addams Family movie Thing. Gomez, Morticia, come on, sing. What else we got? It goes on and on. The madness won't stop. Tick-tock to the talk around the clock. Tag team kicks the floor, really, though, with the Addams Family. So here we go. Something's strange, something's funny. Nanny's got a plot to get that family money. Makes Fester fall for her. Things get wise. Spreads the word. The family comes to family's aid, to Fester's aid. The plot is foiled. No one gets paid. I might do this as my next iambic pentameter monologue. Can you do your Shakespeare? Well, it's not actually Shakespeare, but it is iambic. The family goes...
do you have a Shakespeare?
I don't have a Shakespeare. I famously hate Shakespeare.
No!
I know. Your reference. Me and Ava were in a play. Ava was playing an actress, and the director needed a moment. The director needed a moment. No.
Yes, several.
The director needed a moment where your actress character was saying Shakespeare, and you said, "Do you have a Shakespeare?" And your reaction was, "Do I have a Shakespeare?" Which was a great moment. See, that's a chance where you don't have fun on stages. I always have fun. Whereas if that was me, I would like be talking to you at that point because I was watching you do Shakespeare, and I'd just be saying every time I would go up there and do a different, because the audience couldn't see, and I would just go something like, "Wherefore art thou, farty boy," or something, just to try and make you laugh. But you're too, what's the word? Professional.
And professional. I think that's the key word here.
The emphasis, yeah. What's your worst story of me being unprofessional? The performance is always there. The performance is always there.
The whole of Blue on Blue.
And critically beloved. Ava always likes to tell this story. So before every performance of a show that we did.
Oh my God. No, it's not the whole before every performance. It was the fact that...
Are you going to talk about the
entire game? That was an example. The entire time you just used that barn as a fucking pedestal for you to subject your one-man show bullshit onto the entire crew. And they have to be sat there.
That was requested. I didn't make them sit there. They would sit there and ask for jokes. I think you've blocked that part out because it's easier.
No, I wasn't there. I was in my dressing room actually preparing.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, isn't it? I was preparing because the first scene I had to be a guy hitting on you, being funny, saying jokes. So actually, it was the best preparation of all, wasn't it?
Not really.
Tell that to work. How dare you? I was fine. I was good.
Yes, the shows as the show went on was good. But wait, did you ask me what your worst acting was? What was the question? What your worst performance was, or your worst preparation?
Go on, just rail into it. Go on, we've got 5 minutes.
No, you don't have a worst performance. You know, I didn't dislike your performance, but whenever I hear I had a cat.
Well, that's just a great monologue that I do well. I had a cat.
Do
you remember? So me and Ollie went to Philadelphia together, and we both had to do monologues, and everybody else picked like funny ones. And I didn't have anything else saved. So I just did the I had a cat one, which is very dark and funny, which is from A Delicate Balance. And it's this darkly comedic thing about a man killing his cat. And then Ollie came up and was like, "I'm going to stab this baby." And she did this whole brilliant dark monologue about killing a baby. And then one of the Americans went, "God, you Brits love killing shit." And then the next guy came up and he was like, "Sometimes I try to buy tofu, and I can't." It's not tofu, is it? Tofu.
Tofu.
Yeah. Best line, let's go back and forth. Well, no. Do you have any that you want to lay claim to?
A lot. But a lot of them we've already said, so it's fine. Right, Glicker, scream at Michael Jackson, which I want you to insert right now.
No, don't make me edit. No, that's not happening. It's not happening. Would you like anesthesia? No, but Ask the Children is great.
Not on my time, Four Eyes.
Yeah. I hope you all know the joy of raising children and one day paying somebody to raise them.
You shouldn't be married, you should be studied.
We are not worthy of such beautiful women. Yes, we should have ugly girls.
Yeah.
We've
already done a ghost, but this, which we haven't spoken about this moment yet, as they're about to have intercourse, when it's like, go and tell me, no giggling, yes, no hand puppets.
Brilliant.
Yep.
You're going to have a wonderful life together. Yes, I am.
Yep.
Maybe our most quoted line of all time. Give me a kiss.
Give me a 20.
And
then just before that, I'm her husband.
Comment. Don't you want to help me realize my vision?
Oh, and then when Wednesday says your work is like under dramatized and
puerile and lacks the Aristotelian notions. Don't we wish they would just die? No, we don't.
Gomez singing Sweet Chariot.
Yeah. So white meat and dark meat. Take it away.
We've already said it.
Can you, here we go then. Can you do, but of course not everybody can be a star. Let's not forget our cheery little Chippewas.
Chippewas.
Right.
Okay, they might not all be in order.
Okay.
So count how many there are. Okay.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Esther.
Yep.
Consuela.
Yeah.
Jamal.
Which
obviously Jamal.
Whatever.
Oh wait! Don't tell me. Oh, Erwin. How many is that? 3.
4.
Or 4. I've got 4.
You've got 3. You've got 1. You've only got 2 to get. Sorry, I miscounted. And it's the first 2.
I can't see them. That's why.
It was Mordecai and Yang. Hello, your name? Ava Robinson. Where do you live? London. Your specialist subject? The scene in Addams Family Values where Christine Baranski is racist. Any other best lines?
We've already got who are you? What are you? Who moved the rock? Is it string? Is it dog toy? Yes. And I don't, it's not my favorite, but I appreciate the whole so I ruined one innocent life, on to the next, but aren't I a human being? Don't I, yearn and ache and pine, and don't I need sharp jewelry? No, don't I deserve love and jewelry?
What's the change then? I don't know how I feel about Pubert stopping the guillotine. I don't know how I actually feel about them all being superpowered. Because at the end of the day,
they're not superpowered.
Yeah, but they can't die. Why does Debbie think that the electrocution...
Who doesn't die?
Why does Debbie think that the electrocution will work? Because she already tried to electrocute Fester in the bathtub, and he lived.
Yeah. Okay, what is the best failed Fester death? The bathtub? The house bomb?
That's it.
What was the middle one?
I
swear there was a middle one.
No, the bomb. That's it, really. No, because she gives up. They have sex. Never see your family again. Gets his new wig.
I'm her husband.
That's it. I like. It's not a change. The mum Playboy joke. I find it very funny. It's very dark. It's very weird, though. I like it. None of the tapes they mention are the ones that we hear. They say, but it's Disney. And they mention The Little Mermaid, and they mention all of these movies, and then we hear The Sound of Music, the Brady Bunch theme tune, and then Annie. And also it annoys me because it's not actually the film version of Annie that they're playing. They're playing the original Broadway cast recording. So got it wrong there. Sorry, Barry. Who decorated the room when Pubert's sick? Or is it just magic?
No, that's the whole point, that it like transforms as he transforms.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, sure. I don't think Debbie would ever blow up her house with all of that stuff in that she loves.
Well, the whole point is that she would, because she's crazy. And she's done this a million times. She's literally married a wealthy man, got a shitload of money, killed him, and had to start all over again. She's not living in any of those houses that she was.
Because she keeps blowing them up.
No. Unspoken, weirdly favorite specific part of the film is like, soon it's not long before she's out of cash and hungry for love, and then it cuts to like literally $3 and like 27 cents.
Yeah, it's great. The fake pubert hands are terrifying, specifically when he grabs the bottle with the hair of the pup, and the second bit when he grabs the knife from the cradle, the knife.
We see the knife.
I put here Addams Family whoop, and then biggest change of all. If Debbie was honest with them, they would love her. They're so understanding during her whole presentation. Like, all the nodding. And I think it comes off as genuine. They're not trying to save themselves. If Debbie just said, I'm a murderous psycho, I mean, obviously she doesn't love Fester. But she could have some good friends there with the Addams Family people. And who knows, maybe there's somebody in there that she might like.
But the whole point is that she doesn't want to be with them. She wants their money and she wants them dead. Yes,
but if she could look past that.
Well, I don't think she can. I think that's the point of the movie.
Do you have any changes?
I hadn't had any written down, no.
They'd have come up by now. What's left?
I always am kind of a bit like it's empty for me. The cousin It and having the baby that's like a mini cousin It. I'm always like,
it's a good visual. It's a good visual.
Don't know what visuals you like looking at.
Right. He has his father's eyes. Gomez, take those out of his mouth. Who wrote the book Strange Men and the Women Who Avoid Them?
I don't know.
Dr. Rachel Farone. And Fester's new outfits. That's all I had from my notes. Tagline rundown. Both of these are pretty lame. The family just got a little bit stranger and creepier, kookier, spookier, ookier. Both pretty lame. Just say something like, well, actually, no, I guess they're as fine. They're fine as it is.
Well, what would your tagline be?
This summer, it would be hello, in-laws. What does she say? Oh, no, she just says in-laws, doesn't she?
In-laws.
Say something like, know the family you're marrying into. Brilliant.
That's too long.
It's not longer than the family just got a little bit stranger. It's no longer than in space no one can hear you scream. It's no longer than Marty McFly was always late for school, late for home, but now he's not had time at all or whatever. There are many long. The tagline for Scarface is a paragraph. Anyway, what would you have said?
I don't know, but I would have to sit and think about it. But yeah, something to do with in-laws and the family and the whole thing of that people think that Addams Family are the crazy, scary ones, but actually it's the in-laws.
You thought they were scary, and it's Debbie's shadow over them.
Yeah.
There you go. See, this is why we should be in marketing. We're going to take a brief break, and then we're going to do a few fun facts and Tom's big question. Okay, then let's take it home. Not that many fun facts. Sad facts. Angelica Houston has talked about multiple times how during the filming, Raul Julia was clearly getting sicker. This would be the final film that would be released whilst he was still alive. and then Street Fighter was released 2 months or something after his death. So obviously Raul Julia was an incredible talent, cut off very, very shortly. Obviously, you think the term is die at the altar of Meryl Streep, and so I'm sure you'll have watched the Raul Julia documentary, which has all the Taming of the Shrew footage. And we began today talking about Antonio Banderas. Of course, Raul Julia was in the original production of 9. An incredible talent. You know what he's really good in? Presumed Innocent with Harrison Ford, which is an okay film. I wonder how you'd feel about Presumed Innocent.
Okay.
It's a good, it's a solid thriller. I guess the ending a mile off. It's Harrison Ford and Bonnie Bedelia. Who's Bonnie Bedelia? Miss Gennaro, Holly Gennaro, Miss McLean. Oh God, what a film! When are we doing Diane? Anyway, that might have to be our Christmas movie. We've got three. We've got 3 Christmas slots, which actually will have already happened, so the audience will know. Anyway, but that's beside the point. Miss Gennaro, and she's his wife. Anyway, so basically, he was having this super hot affair with Greta Sarchi. Unbelievable, Ava, you have no idea. She is, anyway, we don't need to talk about that. But she ends up dead, of course, and he is a suspect. Anyway,
Harrison
Ford's having a super hot affair with Greta Sarchi. Absolute knockout, and he's married to Bonnie Bedelia, who's lovely. Anyway, and Greta Sarchi ends up dead, and Raul. Anyway, you've seen Gone Girl, haven't you?
No.
Oh, Ava. What? Anyway. Oh, anyway. I guess we'll have to continue, even though hearing this news. I feel like George Bush having to read the rest of that Goat book. That was pretty dark. I'm going to have to put that joke into something. That's a great joke. You don't agree. The baby's name, Pubert, comes from when they were making the TV show of the Addams Family, and they asked the cartoonist Charles Addams to give name options for the people who had no names in the original cartoon script. And at the time, Pubert he offered as a name for Pugsley, but was rejected by the producers of this 1964 TV show. I wonder why. But again, that's just such a cute, fine, average joke. I mean, I know it was the 60s and like Lucy and Desi slept in separate beds for like 5 years and then suddenly had a baby. Did you watch Being the Ricardos?
I didn't know.
No, it was all right. I mean, I obviously love Nicole. It was all right. Do you like Lucille Ball? Are you a Lucille Ball family?
No.
Because obviously your mum was, obviously, was an American child. She was an American girl raised on Lucille Ball. And she'll have been a Lucy kid, surely.
Not as far as I know. I know she would have seen it, of course, but no, it was never beloved. But
who knows? I know your answer.
The extent of my the thing that I've seen.
Lucille Ball.
What's it called? Yeah, no, what is it? Oh, who's it? Like Lucy and Ethel. But what was it called?
Lucy and Ethel?
No.
Are you talking about one of the fake shows in 30 Rock?
No. Was the show called The Lucille Ball Show?
There was The Lucille Ball Show. There was I Love Lucy.
I love Lucy. I love Lucy.
I love Lucy. She loves me. And go on.
Is the thing that I've seen that the most of is in a movie that you absolutely detest. Do you know what it is?
Is it
well,
The Post? Is it The Post? Does Meryl Streep?
I Love Lucy in The Post.
Does Meryl? I don't know. That might have been. Tom Hanks was like, yeah, I know that Jason Robards gave one of the best supporting performances of all time as Ben Bradley and won his Oscar.
I love Tom Hanks as Ben Bradley.
Let the record show. Defend yourself here. You haven't seen All the President's Men. I just want you to tell the audience that so that you don't get
Yeah,
bullied.
I haven't seen All the President's Men, but I don't claim to disparage it. I admit that I know nothing about it and therefore can't comment on whether it's as exceptional as you say it is.
I know the answer because obviously, like, you know, I think the term is Stockholm syndrome. But I wonder if you watch Jason Robards as Ben Bradley and you actually, something clicks at the back of your head and you go, oh no. Like those people who leave Scientology.
No, we're getting away from the fact. What is the movie that has I Love Lucy in it?
A movie that I detest that has I Love Lucy in.
If you haven't seen the movie that you claim to detest, then you won't get it, obviously, if you don't know it well enough.
So
it's the two leads sat on the sofa watching it at night, late at night.
It's just bloody Greg Kinnear and Meg Ryan watching You've Got Mail or something.
No.
And I don't hate You've Got Mail, actually. But anyway. All right, give me a clue. Later,
in a hotel room. In a hotel room.
In a hotel room, two characters.
Two leads.
Two leads are watching I Love Lucy.
Man and a woman.
Man and a woman. Tale as old as time. Go on, I don't know.
No, I'm going to do this.
Jesus! All right, go
on. We'll see if anyone in the audience can guess it before Tom does. If anyone's watching.
If anyone's watching, shout it, screaming into the void.
Okay.
I'm ready. I've been ready for a while.
He's on a chair. She's laying on the ground. And
she's on a chair. Is it when they go to Notting Hill? Is it Alec Baldwin in his hotel room?
No, but you're not on the wrong track.
Is it a Love Actually scene that I can't remember?
No, I hate Love Actually.
Good.
But it's before some sexy time is about to happen. In a hotel room.
Is I Love Lucy in the background of when Hugh Grant and Andy McDowell first? No. So I'm on the right path with Notting Hill. Oh, God damn it to hell. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't hate Pretty Woman.
Yes, you do.
I just don't like Julia Roberts in it. I'm sorry. I enjoyed Ticket to Paradise. Well, no, I didn't really. I thought it was really, really average. But she wasn't bad in it. She just... that is my biggest hot take, isn't it? I've never liked Julia Roberts. And it's not that it's not that I dislike her. It's just that everybody else loves her. And
Have you ever seen Eat, Pray, Love?
No. Why did I watch the movies that the Julia Roberts movies that people don't like?
What about August Osage County?
What
do you think of her in that?
Yeah, she's fine in it. Everybody's
I remember reading a National Enquirer article, and National Enquirer is the absolute scumbag American tabloid. But you can buy it you would buy a National Enquirer. Next time you're in a grocery store, Tom, buy one. You'll absolutely love it. Trust me.
Why would I love it?
No, because you will love it. It's paper. It's all flimsy paper, and it's just tabloids about stars. And they used to have a thing of like, oh, which stars let themselves go, and it would be like,
this sounds wonderful.
On the beach. Tom, you would, and then there's always a thing on Tom Cruise and Scientology, and then Tom, you would absolutely love it. Anyway,
I was reading some horrible article about Bridget Fonda, and they were like, Bridget Fonda looks unrecognizable, and it's just fat. She's just fat. She's just put on some weight. It's just horrible.
And what was I talking about? Oh, August Osage County. There was an article when it came out saying, oh, Meryl versus Julia. And it was like a beef about apparently Julia was pissed off that they changed the ending of the film. The ending shot was going to be when like Julia like drives off or like gets Meryl from the field or something, which was actually in the movie. I can remember that scene. But Julia was pissed that Meryl got more screen time.
Yeah. I remember when we did the episode, which you were invited on, and I made a whole Meryl fortnight, and you said, nah. I remember talking about the alternate ending. I think on my Blu-ray I have both. August Oscar is it's a solid, fine film. And she's
what's the
fine.
best monologue in it?
Had these goddamn red leather boots.
It's fucking. I can't get into this now.
Ava's a bit of a sadist because my two great impressions of her, both doing Southern drawl women, she loves me to do and then gets annoyed when I get the lines wrong.
Wait, what's the other one?
Janis Joplin. Thank you very much.
It's
Ava.
because you don't do it correctly.
Thank you very much. I had these red leather boots and they were covered in shit.
It was it was chocolate leather, actually.
Chocolate leather boots, and they were just
chocolate leather boots. Had these beat up.
I just ran down and dashed into that tree.
I ran down. Oh my god.
Anyway, back to a few fun facts. I don't know how you'll feel about this. I know that we both are going to say no, but Marissa Tomei was considered for the role of Debbie. Did that do anything for you?
No.
Okay. Tom's big question, this isn't really for you, but Addams Family the musical should just have this plot. Addams Family the musical has this whole different thing of like Wednesday meeting a normal guy named Lucas and all that sort of thing, and I was Lucas's dad. And, so I was the normal dad. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But Addams Family the musical is fine and is good, and Nathan Lane was Gomez, and BB Newworth was Morticia, and it's fine and it's good and it's fine and it's very long. But it should just be this. This would be such a wonderful camp musical. I don't know why Debbie...
How many numbers would Debbie have? Would Debbie only have one, like, evil villain?
No, Debbie would have... Debbie... I should do a drag review, which is me as Debbie Jelinski doing the song Sundowns Women. This is where you say, yes, that sounds great. I have to say, yes, that sounds great when you're like, what if you write a role for me? No, kidding. Are the Martin Grangers married or related?
Oh.
Because I remember them being brother and sister.
What did you think of they were? Brother and sister? Or
but then, like, there's a few moments like, oh, Gare, and,
Oh, Gare. Yeah.
I think they're married. She's keeping her name. Is this the best education you received on Thanksgiving from like an early age? Like, this is how I learned that Thanksgiving was a load of bullshit and like all about like, the rape and pillaging and all about, like the real truth. This is how I learned about this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that can't be the end note. That's all I've got left. You do some good hosting and do some good hosting and take us away from that sad note about the undereducation of our children. Let's talk about Michael Jackson again. Those were 3 of them. I just did 3. I don't have anything else to say. It's just perfect. We've talked about how we can't wait to show our children. What if I find a lady who likes this movie? What do you think?
What if you find a lady who doesn't like this movie?
No. My previous ladies have disliked movies I love. Right, okay. Blank slate. You're not in the happy relationship you're in. What's the one killer movie that is like, oh, actually no, you don't like this. This is actually bad. Because I don't actually think I have one, but if for some reason, like if I dated, like we've known people who do the whole Godfather's boring thing, and I'm like, could I actually be with that for an extended period of time? Because I watch them periodically.
Well, yeah, but it's not about don't think of it as, oh, is there a movie that you love so strong that you couldn't abide it if someone didn't? No, it's about your level of tolerance. Like
it's all about pain.
My partner absolutely loved The Post, which I was expecting him to be very lukewarm to, but absolutely loved it, to my great surprise and happiness. But then was very lukewarm about Goodfellas. So for
Oh,
me, that
Jesus
was
Christ
a bit of a a bit of
I
like a
forgot about
whiplash.
that. I forgot about this.
But he didn't dislike it, and obviously he appreciated it was like a very, very good film. But wasn't like raving about it in the way that he was in the post. So I can't complain. But I still haven't shown him Dazed and Confused,
Yeah.
which is a big
I never showed
biggie.
my big 3-year ex. We never watched Shawshank Redemption. We just never got round to it. One of those things. And that is my favorite film ever. I know it's basic and all that shit, but it is.
That is very basic, Tom. Now that I think of it, like I really expected more of you.
Right. The current list is Shawshank, Silence of the Lambs, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Godfathers Part 1 and Part 2, Boogie Nights, Terms of Endearment, When Harry Met Sally, The Graduate, Titanic, The Apartment. That's got enough off-kilter stuff.
Okay, if you had to, because they're all fairly, I would wonder what it would take to get a film from this decade, to
Once
bump one of those
Once
off.
Upon a Time in Hollywood is currently
Once Upon a
number
Time in
20.
Hollywood, Irishman. Like I know you very much enjoy and love Knives Out, but I don't know how much you like. For me, I like adore Knives Out.
Knives Out's pretty great. The Noah Baumbach's my 8th favorite director, and that is mostly because of
Marriage
the onus of Marriage Story and my love of everything else. Then 11 to 20 is a bit more off kilter. Shining, Airplane, Caddyshack, Rushmore, Crimes and Misdemeanors, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, Misery, Goodfellas, Magnolia, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And then Sunset Boulevard, Network, 45 Years, all that jazz, Eyes Wide Shut, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Fletch, It's a Wonderful Life, War of the Roses, and Defending Your Life. So, I could be cool and fake and say like, oh yeah, my favorite movie is
Randy Newman.
Everybody's walking around trying to find a place in town. We could do Randy Newman all day, but this is far too much of what I asked for, which was a tangent to take us away from the miseducation of Thanksgiving.
I deliver.
I think bigger scale, it would be like if they didn't like Mad Men. Like that is huge. Because there is tolerance and there is like, oh, can we watch Goodfellas again? And it's like, all right, and maybe I'll like it again this time. And then there is watching 7 series of a show they don't like, which nobody would do.
See, this is quite relevant because my partner, recently, it was the start of the year before we lived together, he watched all of Game of Thrones for the first time with his family and absolutely loved it. I made it very clear that I not only have I not seen Game of Thrones, but I have no interest in seeing it because I do not like any sort of medieval, primitive, like
any book with a map in it, any book that has a map on the first page.
See, I like Lord of the Rings. I like Lord of the Rings. I'm not like a fan, but I would watch it. I find it entertaining. But no, Game of Thrones, that is not the type of drama show that I'm going to get invested in purely because I don't like the setting. I don't like all of that. He was like disappointed when I said that because obviously now that we live together, he's like, oh, want to watch this, watch that. He absolutely loved my recommendations because they're brilliant shows. We watched Whole of Modern Family together, watched all of Schitt's Creek twice because he absolutely adores it. And why wouldn't you?
More.
So now we are actually on season 3 of 4 of The Good Place, which we both love. I think if you stuck with it, it's great. It is great. And every time. Guess what? Like, there's a scene when Ted Danson is behind the bar again.
Great.
And I actually found an article about how it got him really stressed out and he was dreading it. He was like, I haven't been behind a bar in so long, and like getting into the character. Oh. So
sorry, why does Ted Danson sound like
Who does it sound like?
I was gonna say like Joan Cusack now in like Sabina Wallflower. Do you want to talk?
But he's just finished Better Call Saul, We both have seen Breaking Bad multiple times and both love it. I have not seen Better Call Saul, so I was like, okay, you finish it because it literally just finished like a few weeks ago, and then if you really want, we can start it from the beginning together. But now he's like, I want to watch Breaking Bad again, and I'm like, I've seen Breaking Bad literally like 3 times through, and it's like all encompassing, and it's like heavy shit. Yes, it's a masterpiece, but you shut up, because the other masterpiece that we both love is Stranger Things, but not season 4 of Stranger. Yeah, you can read my article about that. You can put the link in the description.
I will not be putting the link. I will not be putting the link anywhere near this. Vecna. No.
Yeah, I hate it. I pick the faults in it completely.
You pick the faults and then say, yeah, but Spectre's great. Anyway, we can't do a Spectre tangent. Anyway,
you should do a James Bond thing, and
we've done Casino Royale, we've done Skyfall, we've done.
Have you done Spectre?
No, I tell you for free. I do not.
Have you done No Time to Die?
We did an emergency. That was our first emergency podcast.
Oh, what a fucking load of shit!
Oh, I can't do this. I can't.
You only like it because of Anna de Armas.
Oh, it has 2 days. 2 days. 2 days.
What's your Blonde?
Yeah, Blonde comes out in 3 days when this is recorded. I've literally. This is my diary. This is my big diary, and it has all of my stuff and scheduling the podcast. Wednesday has been booked out. Watch Blonde, write Blonde review, upload Blonde review, post Blonde socials. But apparently, it's got a load of really horrific rape scenes, so I'm just going to look like an absolute pervert when I say it's the best film of the year. Anyway,
does it?
Yeah. Well,
what's the rating?
It's graphic. It's 18 or X, or it's Netflix though, isn't it? So it's all fake. It's not like Disney Plus where I was like, where's Prey? And apparently I've got to change the rating or something. All it kept recommending was, watch Pinocchio. And I was like, no, I don't want to watch Pinocchio. I want to watch the Predator movie. Addams Family Values, comedic masterpiece. What have you just read? You've just read something on your phone that's made you laugh.
No, I was laughing at you saying, watch Pinocchio.
Watch Pinocchio.
Yeah, I would. And also, something that I like to judge my movies by is what character would I want to go as for Halloween, or what character. We never talk about costume. This is an unmarked territory for you, and I think you should put in a costume category. Because
last episode I recorded was Marriage Story. What I wear my burgundy jumper and beret.
No, only if it applies, because obviously, like Wednesday, Morticia, basically the whole Addams, those costumes are iconic. But I would love to go as Debbie in the salmon pink off the shoulder.
I actually like this. We're putting this in. in. This is a new category. One below. There we go. I'm putting it in. Best specific Halloween costume. Has to be specific. Or Fester in the white wing, suit with the wig. That was gonna be mine. It's definitely that. It's got to be a specific Halloween costume. That's good. It's logged in.
Literally, there is a photo, and you can put it in if you're a good editor.
I'm not a good editor.
Of a couple.
I hate
a couple.
I know you showed me.
I want to get it up. Debbie and Fester.
It's a very good photo. I've always thought a better costume would be the Martin Grangers. Would be Becky and Martin.
Yeah, but no one knows that much. Oh my god.
Oh, but they know Fester wearing a wig. No, I like this. This is going in. Of course, all of our episodes are shot out of order. So suddenly in Christmas, it'll be there, and then it won't be. It will come. It will show up halfway through Paul Thomas Anderson Fortnight, and it will show up in later episodes of. It'll do the Christmas episodes. It'll be. Yes, I know. I've seen it. You sent me it before, saying we should do this for Halloween. Right, okay.
Yes.
Addams Family Values, great film. One of the greatest. Well, we don't need to do the sequel conversation. We've done so much conversations. Great episode. Lovely having you, Ava. You'll be back on in 2 weeks for Broadcast News, which is a film after years. Broadcast News is the only thing I ever need to say to you when it comes to me recommending movies for you. The fact that you still haven't watched Heartburn and Postcards from the Edge, which you're doing on purpose at this point, even though they are two movies that you will absolutely love. Anyway, I can't do it. I can't do it again. But then when you finally watch Broadcast News, it's one of your new favourite movies and you're coming on next week.
It's not one of my new favourite movies. If I wasn't Holly Hunter, then I would be like, yes.
The character of Jane. You should specify. I am not Holly Hunter. Anyway, right. 2 weeks, Broadcast News. In the meantime, your favourite show is IT Crowd.
No, my favourite show is Inside Number 9.
Oh, you do hate Inside Number 9, don't you?
Did
you ever watch an IT Crowd to actually hate it?
Nope.
No. Anyway, it's good. It's good. You should watch it.
You should watch Good Place.
You should watch Heartburn and Postcards from the Edge, 2 movies with your favourite actors of all time that you supposedly have dedicated your whole life and career to.
Oh my! I haven't dedicated my entire career to her.
No, but in ode.
No. I do it for me.
You do it for you. And I do this podcast because I have nothing else.
Dabba 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 da da ba 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 ba.